team. Today we want to answer two questions. One is, whether we can have the burn down chart, come down without completing done, getting to done, maybe at the review stage or maybe at the QA stage. And the reason Agile and Scrum does not recommend that, and they do recommend that you should only get to done once you have done QA, is because there's a concept of 90% done. So those of us who belong to the waterfall era, when somebody would ask us, is the project done? We would, yeah, it's 90% done, right? If anybody has been involved in house construction, especially in this part of the world, if you ask the contractor, how far are we? Finished? We'll say, yeah, we're just 10% remaining, right? Both in terms of time and cost. And we know that 10% actually turns out to 90% again. So history, everything that Agile and Scrum recommend has a history behind it, right? So the reason they say that only mark it done when it is actually done, that means it meets all the acceptance criteria, right? You've passed the UAT by the product owners. You've shown it to the UX guys. You've shown it to QA. QA has done the negative testing and has not marked any high severity bug against it, right? For low severity ones, we can negotiate what to do, but for high severity, you have to fix them. So if you start going down in the burn down without getting to done, you that is okay. A lot of teams would live with that, but problem with that is that you will be fooling yourself because you're not done, and you're probably maybe 50% done, and your burn down is showing that you're 90% done. And that's why we only bring the burn down when we have the thumbs up from QA. Right? That's point number one. Point number two, include QA in the same ticket points as definition of and definition of done. The point was this. This is with the background that some days ago we were discussing the option of, when we size, we create a separate ticket for QA and then we size that separately, because QA sometimes doesn't get, actually in our case most of the time doesn't get included in sizing because they're busy with regression at that time, and that's not fair with them. So what happens is when the QA gets into the mix, they realize that, some tickets are very heavy to test. So they're easy to develop, but they're heavy to test. And why does Scrum want one story to have both QA and dev in it? Because as far as Scrum is concerned, it's the same thing. QA is not different from dev. As far as Scrum is concerned, when a story gets to done, it is complete. It complies to the definition of done, and it has everything in it. And if you start splitting it, then when you complete a story, you'll never know whether that work is done. Right? So I'll stop here and